26 players will be named in the first All Black World Cup squad. Hello everybody, welcome to our sporting afternoon. Soon Sport on One takes you to Okara Park in Whanganui for the final trial before the team is named. Later on in the afternoon there's netball from the Swiss-made league, a preview of next weekend's Ashley Forest Rally Sprint and skiing from Mount Hutt. But first, to preview the match from the far north, here's Brendan Telfer.
Well, good afternoon to you from Okara Park in Whanganui, where there remains now just 80 minutes of rugby left before the All Black selectors name the 26 players they want for the World Cup. It is a fact of life, regardless of how unpalatable it may be to administrators, coaches, players and I guess spectators, that traditionally All Black trials often turn out to be pretty awful stuff. Awful for the spectators and I imagine not much more enjoyable for the players. But one or two factors surrounding this final trial this afternoon suggests we might be in for something a little more palatable. First of all, the probable side this afternoon is a virtual shadow All Black 15, and it's something of an open secret that this side was fielded deliberately by Brian Lahore to give this team a virtual rehearsal for the first World Cup match for the All Blacks, which is now only 13 days away. And furthermore, Lahore has stated publicly, and I imagine even more so emphatically in private terms to the players, that what he wants this afternoon is not 30 players out here trying to impress him with their individual skills, but he wants to see how they can work their combinations and get team patterns and team manoeuvres going. So for these reasons, we should be in for something a little better this afternoon than is traditionally the case with these sort of matches. As well, there's about 4 or 5 positions that probably still haven't been resolved. Fullback, centre, halfback and 1 or 2 positions in the forward pack as well. So all in all, plus the very fine dry conditions here at Okara Park suggests we could be in for an afternoon of some very good rugby. We'll be back in just a moment with the teams and the players.
Well, today's program is just packed with action from New Zealand's 2 major winter sporting codes. After the rugby, we go to netball. Defending Swiss-made league champions Collegiate of Auckland are in Christchurch today to play Sacred Heart. That match is on Sport on One today, just after 4 o'clock. And at 5:10, head-to-head ski racing from the ski field in the sky, Mount Hutt, with the atomic ski dual slalom. Well, we can't let an All Black trial match pass without some reaction, so there'll be some crystal ball gazing at 5:45 tonight as we predict who'll be in the All Blacks for the World Cup. Here's the full lineup till 6 o'clock tonight. Then the All Black trial live from Whangarei starts at 2:30. The netball is on after the rugby. Tony Palmer previews the rally sprint an hour later. The skiing is scheduled for 5:10. And the review of the All Black trial and picks for the World Cup squad feature just before our summary of the sporting day in Scoreboard. In the afternoon sports headlines, New Zealand's top tennis players look on course to regain a place in the top 16 of the Davis Cup after a successful first day in the Eastern Zone second round tie against Taiwan. New Zealand won both the opening day singles, and today Kelly Evenden and Stephen Guy are expected to clinch the tie in the doubles rubber. Hutt Valley United scored a shock 2-1 win over Mount Wellington in the Air New Zealand Soccer League last night. This afternoon, league leaders North Shore play Wellington United in the capital. And on a rugby theme, France have a major injury worry with the World Cup less than a fortnight away. The only recognised goal kicker in the French squad, Philippe Béraud, aggravated a thigh injury in a warm-up match in Tarbes yesterday. A decision on Béraud's fitness will be made tomorrow. And next up, the final All Black trial for the World Cup.
Built-in electronics for cordless shaving. Brawn System 1, 2, 3. Position 1, platinum-plated foil. Position 2, combination shaving. Position 3, long hair trimmer. Good morning, future. Brawn System 1, 2, 3.
Now, you can freshly squeeze yourself a glass of 100% pure orange juice whenever you feel like it. Fruity.
On my right is the biggest 6-cylinder wagon in New Zealand. On my left is its competition. On my right is New Zealand's biggest 6-cylinder wagon.
For around the same price as one of those 2-liter sedans, you could buy yourself a big 6-cylinder Fairmont. So why would you want one of those?
A blunt knife. Ever wish there was a knife that never needed sharpening? Well, now there is. Meet the Laser, new generation kitchen knives that never need sharpening. Move out of the grindstone age. Quality English stainless steel is tough enough for really hard work, yet the laser is precise enough for those delicate tasks. And all the while, it will never need sharpening. The incredible laser. There's a complete range, and each knife comes with a 25-year guarantee.
My red miniskips are popping up all round New Zealand. To have your miniskip delivered just about anywhere, call me here at Miniskips HQ. One number, one call does it all, and the call's absolutely free. 0510 Outside Auckland, dial 09 first. Mobilize some Miniskip support today. The call is absolutely free.
Stir fry, you must try stir fry. What is been this great idea to you? We've selected them, sliced them, diced them, spiced them. What is been this great idea to you? You find them in the freezer. Nothing could be easier. What has been this great idea to you? Toss them in the pan, hot as you can. 5 minutes on the heat, they're ready to eat. Crunchy, munchy, stir-fried vegetables. What has been this great idea to you?
Watty's stir-fry vegetables. They'll put a sizzle into your meals.
Seven years ago, we asked our engineers to undertake a challenging task, to build the best car in the world. A car that shouldn't look like it was designed in a wind tunnel, yet should have superb aerodynamics. To this, they should add the most advanced engine technology available. And finally, the driver should know exactly what is going on at every minute of the day. Beyond all this, it must even exceed BMW's expectations of quality. 7 years, 6 million kilometers, over $2 billion, and no less than 600 test vehicles later, it is here, the new BMW 7. We believe it to be, truly, the ultimate driving machine.
The forthcoming 80 minutes of rugby action represents the final opportunity for prospective New Zealand World Cup players to impress the big three, Brian Lahore, Alex Wiley and John Hart. The team is to be announced in Whanganui tonight. Now let's go to Okara Park and join commentator Keith Quinn.
We're really looking forward to this rugby occasion here at Okara Park, and believe me, a big crowd has turned out, to over 10,000 people in the Whanganui Rugby Stadium this afternoon for the playing of this final trial match. Now let's meet the two teams this afternoon. First of all, the Probables team, they'll wear black, and that's appropriate as they are the Shadow All Black team. They're captained by Andy Dalton of Counties, and they're pretty well, as you'd expect an All Black team to look. Maybe Gary Wetton and David Kirk to come in, perhaps in place of Brent Anderson and Bruce Deans. But I think you can expect to see all of these players in the All Black squad of 26 to be announced live on television tonight, unless something drastically goes wrong. The only non-All Blacks in this team are Deans and the new young flanker, Michael Jones. This is the opposition White Possibles team, and this is the team where only maybe 10 or so might make the squad. That's at the moment. But if this White Possibles team can win, then the chances of many of this team will improve markedly. They look a lively bunch. They're captained by Andrew Donald of Whanganui, who's emerged as a leader of real spirit, and they've got real speed in the wings, speed in midfield, and a powerful pack, and they look lean and hungry, fighting for places in the All Blacks for the World Cup 1987. And here's one of the men who would be perhaps looking to play the game of his life today. A young Englishman who's now a New Zealander, John Gallagher from Wellington. And he's a real chance to get into the All Blacks at fullback. There's the kickoff from Grant Fox. Remember, the Shadow All Black team are dressed in the All Black colours without the silver fern. And the first man to handle is Deans away to Fox. And there's the high horse, the first test for McMaster. Got his hands on it. The bounce favoured the black team. That's big Brent Anderson. Nicely over the top, a good authoritative start, except for Fox fumbled on the 22. Former All Black Graham Thorne is watching with me this afternoon.
Couldn't have been a better start for the Blacks either. A good kick from Grant Fox, and Brent Anderson showing up well, but bad play by Grant Fox. Just took his eye off the ball. He was just taking it too quickly to push it on because there was an overlap on the outside. Now White get the ball to the scrum.
Today's referee is Bob Francis of Wairarapa Bush. That's the White Possibles captain, Andy Donald, number 9. And this is McMaster. Now, looking at Andy McMaster, worthwhile remembering that the man can kick with either foot off the left or right side. He's a pretty equally adept. So that's going to be of great use for him and a plus for him in the All Black selector's mind, I'm sure. That's the halfway line in splendid weather conditions. Andy Dalton pitching towards the back, and you can hear that it's very competitive in there. Fox, he had a look and sent it on to Taylor. This is Joe Stanley on the crash ball. Well set up. Deans to Fox. Look at Gallagher come in from fullback. Craig Green. Shelford. That's the corner flag. The try is awarded. And let's have a look under that lot of arms and legs. It could be Shelford got it in the end. He did.
The try was made by John Gallagher coming in as the extra man. See the way he took the ball at speed, and he had the whites going backwards. Good thinking from Craig Green, who came inside, then he went outside, and now the support play from Wayne Shelford. Watch the big number 8 come and take the ball, and he's a big, huge boy, got plenty of strength, pushes off Leota, and goes over for the try. A good try to Wayne Shelford.
Here it is from the end on. Nicely drawn by Fox, and look at the way Gallagher hit the ball at speed. There was support from Green, a little bit confusing on the pass there from Gallagher, but that's only carping. The support play was there from Wayne Shelford. He is a man of enormous drive and strength, and his momentum took him across for the try. First opportunity to look at the goal-kicking prowess of Grant Fox, and of course it's well known as being excellent. Grant Fox kicking into a slight crosswind. And it's not a good attempt by Fox for his first one. The wind is a crossfield, but there's the try scorer, Wayne Shelford of North Harbour. Well, there's a lot of people that say that perhaps he's not tall enough for the number 8 situation, but my word, in a situation like that when there's support play needed or driving leg drive, then Shelford's your man. 4 points to 0, taken in by number 4 Anderson in the black team. And this black team called the probables in the program, on the paper, on the scoreboard, Graham Thorne. They look like an all-black team at the moment.
They do, and of course they're playing in the black colours, so that will help actually. And there's some big boys in the forwards.
McDowell, Richard Lowe, Albert Anderson there. These are the men. Murray Davey behind the 2 Canterbury men. There's Murray Pearce from Wellington back in the big stuff today. Number 7, Michael Jones. Remember that he's the flying flanker in the Graham Murray role, the Jock Hobbs role of recent years. But Michael Jones also well known as a leaper for bonus ball at the back of the line-out. He's on the other side of the black scrum there. You can't quite see him. You can just see his head, the Waitemata 22-year-old. Scrum sinking very low. There's a good scrum from the white. Now this is the team that pushed a Land Rover laden with people the other day when the handbrake was on. McMaster under pressure. 14 is John Kerwin. And number 6 in the white team is Brett Harvey from Wairarapa Bush, a late inclusion in the trial team, coming in for Mike Brewer. That was bad luck for Brewer to be ruled out. This is the halfway line, and here's some of the players for you. The red-headed man at the back is Mark Brook-Cowden. He's the tail gunner for the white team. Dalton throws on halfway. Jumping across the line, or coming across the line, number 3, I think, looked like Murray Davey or Richard Lowe, perhaps. So this is halfway, and this is the distance for Grant Fox. And Graham Thorne, I'm perhaps a little surprised to see Fox kicking for goal from here. He's not known as a big striker of the ball for tremendous distance.
No, this is definitely at the extent of his range. He's also kicking into quite a strong easterly wind coming up the harbour from Whanganui Heads. But if he just relaxes and swings the boot through and he hits it cleanly, he could put it over. But I don't think it's... I'd put money on it. But Grant Fox, of course, is a very good kicker.
4 minutes gone in the game. He did hit it well. It's fallen short though. McMaster favouring the right side. It's bounced between two men. Deans away to Stanley at first 5-8. There's an overlap here. Kerwin, Gallagher up. Great tackle there coming across. That was Alan Wick standing out on the wing. Deans, black team totally dominant here. Taylor, Craig Green, Jones inside the 22-metre line. You see the flankers and loose men in support. Over the top again, Deans. This is glorious football from the black team. Stanley.
Beautiful ball work by the blacks, but there's been a penalty for an offside by the white backs coming up in front of the last man's feet in that ruck. But what tremendous set-up ball by the blacks. We see the ball here just being laid back to Bruce Deans, and look, there's all that room over to the left. Stanley. And then Craig Green comes inside here and looks for someone as Jones jumps over the man there. And then the way he goes on now, watch the support play, and there's the ball being laid back to Bruce Deans again. Look at that, just beautifully done by the black team. There's Joe Stanley pushed into touch there, and the penalty we come back for.
Eight minutes gone in the final All Black trial. And this is the third attempted goal today for Grant Fox. He won't want to miss 3 in a row. It's a rarity that he does, but this is by far the handiest so far. So that's put the black team out beyond 6 points, 7-0, with Grant Fox landing his first successful kick of the day.
So the white team have got it all ahead of them now because they're not getting the ball. And of course, they've only got one ball out there, and if you don't have it, you can't score points. The black side, as I've said before, are just laying that ball up to Bruce Deans. He's just having an armchair right at the moment. So now they've got to lift their game, this white team.
Master kicks. Came off someone's arm. Now here's the first chance for the white team with the ball. That's Murray Davey, number 1. And the black team, Andy Dalton, was penalised. He went over the top. And the penalty signal there from referee Bob Francis. Now this is Andy Dalton. Now the way the black team was firing, I guess it's confirmation that this man may be the All Black captain for the World Cup. We'll know at about 10 minutes to 7 this evening. Meantime, it's a shot at goal coming up for Andrew McMaster. This is a rather interesting fellow, McMaster. You'll recall that he was a winger in the Canterbury team. He played in the wing in the zone matches, or one at fullback and one in the wing. Went away to Great Britain for several years and is back this year playing for the Tukawa Real Blokes in Manawatu. Andy McMaster struck it well. So the white team are on the board, and that's a good fight back from Andrew McMaster, 7 points to 3.
And a good confidence builder for Andrew McMaster, who I think he'd be the first to admit didn't have the best of games at Pukekohe the other week in the zone final. But that one he hit really in the middle, and through it went. So they replied pretty quickly, the white team, 7 points to 3.
Rage referee Bob Francis is very much one of the top referees in New Zealand, but is not being required for the World Cup matches. Fox restarts. Only 2 referees from each country, each of 7 countries, taking part in the controlling of the World Cup matches.
Which I think was a mistake, because over the last few years they've had 3 referees in each game, of course, 2 on the touchlines and 1 in the middle, and now they've cut one out. And I think that was a very bad move on the IRB or the World Cup organisers, because they have started this, as I say, 3 referees theory.
Of course, the referees will therefore have the odd man out on the touchlines, if you like, someone who's not of their same nationality. 7 points to 3. This white scrum looks to be pretty good. Up towards the 22. Jones has done good work in there. Good control ball off the floor from Deans to Fox, to Stanley, straight to John Kerwin. Gallagher backing up. Taylor is there as well. Bodiger goes inside him. 10 metres out. Shelford in support. Schuster, number 12. Number 6 is Harvey. But the ball just across the touchline. Touch judge there is Dennis Wilson, and he saw it across the line, but this black team again looking awesome.
Very awesome, and supporting the ball carrier, Wayne Shelford, always there.
So this is Sean Fitzpatrick, number 2. Could be that he's the big hard luck story of rugby in '87. Floated that jump for Albert Anderson. Must have been knocked through the line out. So it's going to be a defensive scrum for the white team. You see Body getting into position for Donald. White team trying to drive away. It's a much more urgent ball game than we saw in any of the zone matches. And I think that this white team, although they've conceded the first 7 points, they're on the board now, and there may be that they're going to make a statement in this match before too long.
Their scrum is looking very good. And you can see that the way they're very tight in there. They've had a lot of trouble with scrums for many years, collapsing them. But there have been a few people a little worried about the size of the All Blacks scrum when it goes into this World Cup, because the props especially are not very big. They're very mobile. John Drake and Steve McDowell are not the biggest props that New Zealand have ever had. But one thing about them, they are mobile.
Number 3, John Drake, you're there, the tight head prop. Forward, you see him. He's the tight head, so it's his job really to disrupt there and try to pull down the front row to make it awkward for the view of the hooker. And I guess he was attempting to do that. He conceded a penalty for taking the scrum actually down. The loose head prop in opposition to him, of course, his job to hold the front row up so that the hooker, like Dalton here, can get a clear view for the strike. 15 minutes gone. The Black Probables lead by 7-3. That was Alan Wetton. Jones to Anderson to Taylor. 22-metre line just there. Dean's up. Fox. Gallagher's taking all the right options at the moment. He's made a good beginning. Oh, nicely handed off by Jones to Dalton. Look at this ball. It's on a platter for the black team. Not a good pass from Deans. Fox has fumbled. Harvey, advantage might apply. Brett Harvey. And a penalty to the white team. And they got out of that one again. Some fumbling from Grant Fox. And there's some injury. There's Brett Harvey, a man in the off-season, late last year, went on an incredible tour around the world with the Fiji Barbarians, and they went to all sorts of places like Argentina. Actually, they went up and played 2 matches in Paraguay, up into Belgium, Switzerland, Italy, Wales, Ireland, England, and of course they wound up in France playing in the Masters tournament, an elite club championship. And Harvey was one of the invited New Zealanders to go on the Fiji Barbarians tour. So this is the man who could be the hard luck story of '87, Sean Fitzpatrick, an outstanding hooker on the Tour of France for the All Blacks late last year. And it looks like all the signs are there that the 22-year-old will be replaced by a 35-year-old for the All Black team. And that 35-year-old, of course, is Andy Dalton, who's likely to go in as the captain. I wonder if that's ever happened before, Graham Thorne, a 22-year-old being replaced by a 35-year-old.
Yes, we've never had a World Cup before, though, Keith. So anything can happen this year.
Just in black territory. Deans, McMaster, Oh no, this is right. 2 Auckland wingers there. So Brandon Boddicker there, you see him standing at first, 5/8 behind. Hasn't really seen the ball in the game yet. That's Brent Anderson on the peel, and I think referee Francis saw as accidentally offside. He ran into his own loose forward.
But Alan Wetner's doing good work there at number 7 in the line-out, palming it down to Brent Anderson.
Here's Boddicker, hasn't been in the game in the first 15 or so minutes. Now Boddicker from behind his 22. Big kick. Judged it well. So Brandon Boddicker, the man outside him there, you see John Schuster, the Wellington man, and outside him Bernie McCarhill from Auckland. You see them whispering the call along the line, keeping their hands over the mouth so that the opposition can't lip read or...
It's actually black ball, so I don't know what they're talking about.
There's Alan Wetton again getting the deflection that time. The Whites have got it though. Number 4, Albert Anderson, with him Mike Spate. There's Big Murray Pearce. Had a few injury problems, left the field for Wellington in one of their South Pacific Championship matches. Came back last Saturday, played in Australia, and Brian Lahore thought it was necessary to go and watch him play in that game, so selectors having a good long look at Murray Pearce. Blocking the scrum with Brent Anderson. Now referee Francis has got to sort this out, because what a shame it would be to spoil a trial match that's begun so promisingly with a whole bunch of collapsed scrums. Now it's against Drake again. Now Lowe and McDowell. That might have been against McDowell on second thoughts, although he didn't gesture towards Lowe. But the competition is fierce in that front row. So McMaster will have the chance to close the gap right up. That's McMaster's view. Useful man to have in the team, McMaster, former university player from Christchurch. "19 minutes gone, first half. So McMaster closing up the scoreline to 7 points to 6 with his second successful penalty. So the struggle up front is very, very keen indeed. That scrum, the focal point of a lot of the physical aggression of the perhaps 16 top forwards in New Zealand. Fox restarts with a quarter of the final trial over. Nicely cleared by Andy Don, but he's just spoiled a little by nudging it over the line on the full. Now he's really emerged as a very positive captain. He's a very, very nice sort of a character, Andy Don, the bubbling personality, and I think his enthusiasm for life probably has made him that very good leader. Dalton throws, he's got a different style of captaincy altogether. Boddicker. See Jones making the most of his chances there. This is Michael Jones, youngest man on the field at 22, along with Bernie McCarhill from the Waitemata club in Auckland. Really came to prominence last year with Auckland's Ranfurly Shield defences. Oh, it's a mess in there, isn't it? Referee Bob Francis agreed.
It looks like an octopus with all its arms waving and in the air. And there's so much pushing and shoving. And Mr. Francis has said we want a metre between each of the players, but it's so hard to actually police.
So this is Fox. This is the man who scored twice as many points for his province than any other player from Auckland, and that, of course, has been always one of the leading provincial teams in New Zealand. So that is a truly remarkable statistic. Yes, just got there from Fox.
It's very interesting to look at Grant Fox's style. The further he goes out from the post to kick, the less he goes to the left as he kicks the ball. He goes back 3 or 4 paces and then takes 2 steps to the side when he's actually kicking short ones. When he cooks long ones, he goes back on a much straighter angle.
So the goal kicking looks solid today, and there is the 2 number 4s. Albert Anderson taking out Brent Anderson.
That was so early, it was almost in the dressing shed before the game kick.
So Fox gets back in the ball game. Anderson, that's Brent Anderson, gets taken out. So the Blacks are winning the line-out ball well. That was tidied up nicely by number 5, Fierce. Fox, Taylor left out. Stanley well, tackled by Schuster, near halfway. Bruce Dean's getting in to add his weight. It's come to the whites. Boddicker, Schuster, Boddicker on the loop, but well wrapped up by Joe Stanley, still near halfway. So the white team not getting past the imaginary line through the position where the ball came from, the game line. And right near halfway, McMaster has signalled that he's going to have a go at this distance.
It's actually quite strong, the wind up top, once you get up about 30 feet, coming over the stand. So if he plays what would be called a wedge shot in golf, the wind could do the rest. He's a prodigious kicker, Keith.
.24 minutes gone first half. Gave it a hefty thump, and Grant Fox watched it all the way. Applause from the crowd. It was a good kick. So it's a little battle at the moment between McMaster and Fox. Good leap and catch by the local boy, the only Whanganui player in the game, Michael Spate. There's Spate, the ex-Whanganui boys high school and lower grade representative for the Whanganui sub-union. Deans. Fox. Joe Leota. Try to cut him down before he gets going because he's really speedy. There's another man who likes to run with the ball, Brent Anderson. Deans, Shelford, Green took it at speed. In pass to Deans, and what a good try that was. Again, good backing up. Canterbury players running the blind side there, Deans and Green. Shelford helped. Deans scored the try.
On the blind side now, watch the way that Craig Green can see that he's not going to get past Andrew McMaster, but see the way that Bruce Deans just kept running on the inside, took the pass well, and you can go back and thank Brent Anderson for setting that try up.
Here it is again from the end on, the little flick pass by Deans, and then he stays in support, shelf it out to Green. Now Green pinned his ears back, but then he realised he wasn't going to get there, and he kept looking for the support, and what a good pass it was, and Bruce Deans is in. Two tries in that corner, down that wing, on the narrow side. Yes, Fox coming into his own now. 16 points to 6 in favour of the Black Possibles team.
In this Steinlager All Black trial, number 10, Grant Fox.
Well, so far, my man of the trial is this man here, Brent Anderson. He's been in everything. He actually made that try by coming out of that maul and setting it up.
Master kicks a deep one to Fox. It's a game between these two at the moment. And a nicely struck ball back by Grant Fox. That's a high one from Boddicker. They're letting the man come forward from fullback Gallagher, but he was not able to catch it. And that's John Kerwin. Well, I suppose wingers would possibly be complaining Grant Thorne hasn't gone out through the backs. No one's had a chance to show any real toe or gas, that word that Earl Curtin uses.
Now the ball's gone to the left and the black side to Craig Green, because that's the natural way of passing, the right hand being stronger than the left. But the white side just haven't had a look in so far.
Dalton. Oh, over the top, perhaps. No, not straight. Tidied up by Andy Dalton. Anderson and Pearce in the second row. That's Dalton. McDowell is the prop on the far side of the black team. Number 6, of course, is Alan Wetton. Unhappy, untidy hook, Boddicker, tight head. McCahill tried to crash the centre, no way through there. He got 2 defenders. So that's a strike for Sean Fitzpatrick, and that is a talking point. Boddicker, McMaster, Leota, that's the 22 there. Donald. My word, the defence is very good. What a good tackle that was by John Gallagher, the fullback coming forward. Look at Murray Pearce, policeman from Wellington. 2-handed takes there. Now the drive away. Took McDowell's legs out from under it. John Gallagher, a policeman in Wellington. He's one of the policemen that attends incidents out in the streets. So he's fighting crime in the streets, requires a special type of character. Discipline, strength of character, if you like. Murray Pearce, the other policeman in the black team, is a lock forward, and they work together in the Wellington Central Police Station.
After that tight head, I don't think there'll be much love in that front row. Andy Dalton does not like losing tight heads. What Hooker does.
They're getting in the game, these guys. That white front row, I think they most keenly seem to be feeling the fact that they're not in the shadow All Black team. They're really contesting strongly and vigorously for those front row places. That is a brutal contest in there. Referee Francis referee the other side of the scrum, which is an unusual place for the referee. Kerwin juggles with the ball. Gallagher left out. Taylor halfway.
Warwick Taylor, who is one of the best follower-ups in the game today. He always is outside looping the wingers or looping the fullback when they come into the back line.
Good word that, Graham, follower-uppers. And he certainly is very good at that. There's McDowell, one of the big men in the front row, the loose head. Well, fine take there by Alan Wetton, I think. Yes.
Continuing on from the zone match at Pukekohe, Keith.
Now, feet going, digging for the ball. It's there for Deans. Fox. Taylor. Plenty of invention in the centre, but just not quite rhythm, although Green is struggling to keep going. It's 15 metres out midfield. White team in possession. Donald. Bottica. Good clearance by Frano Bottica, one of the baby All Blacks last year. Made a big impression. Played very well on the Tour of France. Played in France for several seasons. Halfway line to the right. Jones is number 7 with his arms akimbo. Opposite him in the white, Mark Brooke Cowden. Tapped by Brent Anderson. Fox having a little run. Shelford. It's a knock forward. Brent Anderson, the tap ball, that's always obviously a bit of a lottery if you're going to tap the ball, but he tapped it straight to his halfback. Fox decided to have a run.
I think it's more of a palm than a tap at number 3, Keith. I think they're just organising the throw-in, so he manages to deflect it more than a tap, which comes basically at number 5, and that's when you get into all sorts of trouble. These front rows in all sorts of trouble. He's saying stay up, Bold Francis.
They didn't stay up. More collapsed front rows there, and out in the full. A little bit of untidy play. Let's just have a think about the game at the moment. Andy Donald, it's just gone into a wee bit of a lull after the very urgent start from both teams. We now look to the match now for the class of the players to bring it back on course, if you like.
I think the white backs have got to use all the ball they get usefully. They can't kick it away. They're only going to get scraps, it seems, in this game.
2 number 7s going for it. No one could say they really won it there. The Blacks are making the most of it. As the ball was locked up tight, it's the team going forward that gets the put in. Bruce Deans, but that is rapidly turning into a bit of a shambles, the competitive nature of the front rows. There's Bob Francis, it's giving the message loud and clear, but they've collapsed again. 5 minutes to go in the first half. It's 16-6 to the black team. They're going down the wing. They've scored 2 tries down. Well, McMaster made a bit of a botch up there, and the referee felt, and Gallagher made the nudge through. Gallagher's winning on points in the battle of the 2 fullbacks. McMaster touched that ball over his own goal line. It's a 5-metre scrum. A good chance here for the Blacks.
Yes, we'll see the way that Wayne Shelford is packing down once again between the lock and the flanker. There's no blind there at all, although Craig Green has not moved away from his line of touch. You can see Craig Green there just by the sign.
Down go the front rows again. Referee Francis playing advantage. He says the white team took it down. So that's a penalty now. You heard the words of referee Francis that the white front row brought it down. Well, I don't know what the referee can do there, Graham. What can he do? I mean, he's repeatedly telling these players to to stay up. They repeatedly collapse. I mean, he can penalise till he's blue in the face if you like, but
you can, of course, send them to the sin bin for persistent infringing, but
well,
that
would spoil the game. Here is the message again for Andy Dalton, who's the captain of the black team, and I think he might be giving a message along the lines of this is spoiling the game.
I'm sure if I was Bob Francis, I'd be pointing out very quietly to the captain of the Blacks that he has to do something with his front row, but don't forget it was the white team that were penalised.
I think one could say that the problems are equally shared there by the two front rows. There's no lily whites in there. Three minutes to go till half-time. Grant Fox missed his first two kicks at goal. That one's hit the post. An awkward bounce over McCahill's head. Taken in by McDowell. See how quickly they formed a wedge in support of McDowell. Number 4 is Brent Anderson. Now he's got a bit of a habit of scoring tries. So is Wayne Shelford. We've seen that in this match so far. McDowell driving to the posts. And McMaster touches down. 5-metre scrum.
This scrum is in perfect position. The black side can do anything. It's right under the crossbar. So the backs have split with Joe Stanley going to the right and Warwick Taylor to the left. So it's up to Bruce Deans now to decide whether Fox is going to run to the right or perhaps Gallagher to the left.
Not a good pass. Stanley got the bounce. McMaster wrapped him up well. Deans. Knock on.
Deans, I think, knocked the ball on there as he tried to pick it up. So now a very important scrum for White.
Backed up against their goal line. Look at Bruce Deans in there, working very hard. The Whites are driving away. Donald. Botica onto the left side.
Good play by Frano Botica, but the black side kept him on that left foot, so he didn't have the angle. And so they've got the foot into the line out. There's the goal line, only about 6 metres away. So perhaps it'll be one right to the back where Alan Wetton's doing such good work.
Wetton jumping against Andy Earl there at the back. That's Earl, number 8 in the Whites. Michael Jones, part Samoan from out in the west of Auckland. That scrum has collapsed again. That's starting to be an irritant in this game, I'm afraid. The repeated collapsing of the front rows. I mean, if there's nothing on the trial, if you like, the score doesn't mean anything. Perhaps they are just taking the scrums down repeatedly. They don't worry if they're going to concede points. They just don't want to concede anything in the scrums to the other front row. Botica. Good skills by Botica. You see how he bounced to his right that time to get onto the right foot, which is the stronger for him. And thus the gain up the touchline was more. Playing injury time. There's Richard Lowe. Now, he'd be probably one of the least known All Blacks of all time. He played in the Stade La Fronde in La Rochelle as a replacement player. Schuster. That's as far as the ball's gone out along the white backline in the first 40 minutes. Here's Gallagher. And Gallagher plays the ball into the touchline. And that is half-time. What happened there? Some confusion, Graham Thorne.
Well, the ball hadn't gone out when Mr. Francis blew the whistle for half-time. Ian Blackmore, the touch judge, hadn't put his flag up. I think Bob Francis thought the ball was out. That was half-time.
Shelford scored the first try, so did Deans. Fox has kicked 3 goals. McMaster 2 penalties for the Whites. The Blacks team lead by 16-6 at half-time here in Whanganui.
7 years ago, we asked our engineers to undertake a challenging task, to build the best car in the world. A car that shouldn't look like it was designed in a wind tunnel, yet should have superb aerodynamics. To this, they should add the most advanced engine technology available. And finally, the driver should know exactly what is going on at every minute of the day. Beyond all this, it must even exceed BMW's expectations of quality. 7 years, 6 million kilometers, over $2 billion, and no less than 600 test vehicles later, it is here, the new BMW 7. We believe it to be, truly, the ultimate driving machine.
A blunt knife. Ever wish there was a knife that never needed sharpening? Well, now there is. Meet the Laser, new generation kitchen knives that never need sharpening. Move out of the grindstone age. Quality English stainless steel is tough enough for really hard work, yet the Laser is precise enough for those delicate tasks. And all the while, it will never need sharpening. The incredible Laser. There's a complete range, and each knife comes with a 25-year guarantee.
Wonder if the light lambs will have enough protection.
This year, as always, some farmers will have cause to wonder about the future of their stock.
Wonder if I can give my lambs a better start from a pre-lamb drench.
But many will realise that the key to good flock management lies not in a crystal ball, but in a unique protection concept that combines both vaccine and drench. Milvax, the key to good flock management.
The theory, perfect aerodynamics. The car, the brilliant Corona Amon. The reason, subtle wind tunnel tested modifications that ease the air gently around a beautiful new shape. Now the bumpers and underbody belong to the same sweeping design.
Every production car should be this smooth and quiet. Pity they're not.
Now come on, won't you stand by me? Oh, no, no, stand by me. Just as long as you stand by me. Now come on, won't you stand?
Stand by the All Blacks. We are Steinlager Limited, official sponsors of the 1987 All Black World Cup Challenge.
Dr. Kildare, the original young doctor, returns.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Becker. What am I to be congratulated for?
Find out on Dr. Kildare at 1:15 on 1.
Back live from Whanganui, there are the two New Zealand selectors, Alex Wiley and John Hart. Brian Lahore is on the field with the black team. There are the reserves. It's so mild here in Whanganui today. Players like Gary Wetton and Kieran Crowley are with a strip ready to go, and play about to start here in the second half. It's been a tough, bruising first 40 minutes. A pretty good trial, really. I think Brian Lahore and the selectors will be pretty satisfied as the second 40 minutes begin. The white team is in arrears, and there it probably tells the whole story. Brian Lahore grinning from ear to ear. His black team are leading by 16-6. So, Andy McMaster begins the second half of this trial match. The white team are down by 10 points. They've started well here. Boddicker, that's exactly what Grant Fox did at the start of the first half. Who wants it? Gallagher, he was under it, but it was deflected away by Pearce, I think. Spate is the man with the headband. Now the white team trying to stake their claim on this match. Driving away, there's Brent Anderson getting around number 4. It's been well carried on. Scratched to Donald. The rucking has been very impressive. That's a Mark Brookcount. He's been watched by his opposite number. Low. Donald. That's midfield, 20 metres out. Earl. Well tackled by his clubmate from Glenmark, Bruce Deans. Now Deans has got the ball for the clearance.
So Bruce Deans, who's got 40 minutes to take that second half-back spot. But Keith, looking at the first half and some of the players that we're putting in our hat, shall we say, Anderson, B, Gallagher, J, and Wetton, A are the three that I've picked out that have really taken the eye.
So there's the man who's being attended to, Warwick Taylor. I guess every injury break with the World Cup action just 13 days away. Every injury break we look at rather anxiously, and Taylor's been on good form this year.
Dr. Andrew Dalton walking across.
There's Murray Pearce, I guess of the line-out players. He's done pretty well today. So too has Alan Wetton. Very tall man, Murray Pearce, nearly 2 metres tall. Taylor restored. Game resumes. 2 minutes into the second half. Deans, Fox, Taylor. McMaster could pick this up on the bounce. That's a good little kick by McMaster, bouncing into space. Bruce Deans. Good ball. Shelford plays halfback. Kerwin running really for the first time. Overlap here. Green. Kerwin. Oh, good handling. Taylor. Gallagher still in support. And played out by Terry Wright. Taylor was in it. So too was Kerwin. Gallagher was always close. Look at this for good support play.
Now watch the way John Kerwin is in the movement. See the long pass out to Stanley and Gallagher. Watch the way Kerwin is up in support here and takes the ball and gets the ball away to Warwick Taylor. That is very good play from Kerwin.
Good support play, good handling. Andy Donald. Dow standing off number 1. Big Steve McDowell, a former New Zealand judo champion, as well as a All Black prop forward. Former Bay of Plenty man, as was Wayne Shelford. You see in the back there. That's where they were raised as kids.
Well, Bob Francis has said to the front rows, don't go down to the ball's about to be put in. He doesn't want a long time elapsing between the time the players go down and the ball is put in.
So front rows are coming up now. Shelford. He lost it forward. Number 6 is Alan Wetton. Yes, that is really one of the fortes of Wayne Shelford, isn't it, Graham? The tremendous leg drive he has off the back of the scrum. When people are around him, he can still keep the momentum going. So there are those headbangers in action again in the front row.
The penalties are going to come now. I think Bob Francis's patience has finally run out. He's going to start penalising.
Yes, one couldn't blame the referee if his patience has run out, because he's been patient with them for half the game. Penalising there, I think, the front rows for advancing past the put-in mark. That's the 22-metre line they're working towards. This is hard Layla, hard Yakka. It's going to be there, I think, for Deans in the end. And here it is. A little bit of frustration. Steve McDowell and Richard Lowe.
Richard Lowe actually nearly smuggled the ball back to his wide side. So now let's look and see what's on for the Black Backs. Craig Green moving across. Second penalty and 2 scrubs. That one against Sean Fitzpatrick, I would say, for perhaps not binding.
Well, it's going to cost them points. Now here's referee France is going to call the 2 captains together, and I think he's going to give the message loud and clear about the front rows spoiling this game. Well, I think the expression on Bob Francis's face suggests that in good New Zealand parlance, he's cheesed off with the way the whole front row thing is being sorted out in there. So that was a very stern message from the referee to the 2 captains. So the front row problems have caused the white team to slip further behind. 19 points to 6, and that's the 4th successful kick today for Grant Fox.
And that must almost give him those 100 points for the season, Keith. He must be pretty close to it, which is quite an amazing achievement.
98 points for the season for Grant Fox. He set the record in 1984 of 310 points in first-class rugby. Pearce is having a very good game in the Black Pack. Michael Jones to Shelford. They've done well as well. Deans pushing it forward. Kerwin chasing. Says McMaster. Hasn't quite come off as yet in the match. However, there's plenty of time yet to impress. 7 minutes gone, second half. Dawson to throw. There it is, the deflection from Anderson. Players offside in the white team. Michael Spate looking a bit annoyed about that. Now this is a reaction from the crowd directed at Grant Fox, and I guess with the front row problems and kicking a goal from penalties, we haven't had the momentum in the game in the last 15 or so minutes.
That's right, Keith. It started off very well, and the game looked like it was going to be a humdinger. But since those front rows have started to get a bit touchy, it has stopped and started. But now Grant Fox on what's the date today? May the 9th. Could be kicking for 100 points, Keith.
Seems to shake the tension out of his body, coming out through his fingers. You see this? The end of his run-in. Crowd a bit severe on Fox. He missed the kick. They cheered him roundly for missing. 19 points to 6 the score remains. We've had 10 minutes gone in the second half.
We are talking about an All Black trial, though. They must appreciate that this is the last game that some of these players will play, or most of them will play before the first game against Italy. They've got to play it as a dress rehearsal.
So it's a penalty against the white team in that line out. And Fox being caught again. Now this is an outrageous protest from the crowd. Now, this is not new for Grant Fox, because I was at a representative match in Wellington a few weeks ago when the Athletic Park crowd roundly roasted Fox for repeatedly kicking at goal. And not only repeatedly kicking at goal, but taking what they viewed as too long in his preparation. He is a very precise kicker, and to see him kicking over and over again does take a lot out of the actual playing time of a game. So it's something that Fox has to contend with. You can see he's pretty slow coming back. Then he stands at the back of his run-in for what seems like a long time. I guess it's only really seconds. Shakes the tension that may be in his body. Shakes it out through his fingers. That is 100 points for the first-class season for Grant Fox. As early as May the 9th, that record of 310 points could be under threat here in 1987.
So 22 points to 6. And the white side have got it all ahead of them again. They've got to really get back into this game by spinning the ball, I think.
Fox hasn't found touch now. Boddicker, McMaster, Leota sent back from whence he came by Schuster.
Steve McDowell making the big pass to his left, and it went along the ground, so he can stick to the front row.
That tackler out to midfield was Joe Stanley, of course. This is McDowell. Spake getting up with Albert Anderson. Spake will probably get the credit. Boddicker took his eye off it because he could see the flying figure of Jones coming at him. Deans, Fox, Stanley. Oh, Gallagher might have come across and impeded Kerwin's view that time in the decoy run.
Yes, he did, Keith. He came in at pace, as John Gallagher does, and then they skipped him out, and John Kerwin was unsighted. Andrew Donald waiting for Sean Fitzpatrick's signal, the hooker. If you watch his left hand, you'll see the way he taps his loose head prop when he's ready to hook the ball.
Difficult day for Bob Francis. So much at stake in those front rows. Listen to that coming off the sound effects microphone there, of the effort and exertion and the determination and the drive striving for these places in the All Black team. That's one of the few clear hooks we've seen in the ball game. Boddicker, Schuster, McCahill left out, Leota the speedster. A hook pass, McCahill, right the speedster. Another hook pass, and it's a glorious try for Mark McCahill. A glorious try by Mark Brook-Cowden. It began right back inside the 22. And look at Leota. You could carp and say he had the ball. He switched it under the wrong arm. And Joe Stanley kept up with him all the way. But look at the hook pass, like a basketball pass in field. Then it was McCahill. Terry Wright in support, and another hook pass coming up. Things went wrong just for a fraction, but Brook-Cowden must have been sprinting right the way up the field, and he got the ultimate reward.
Watch the way that Joe Stanley and John Gallagher get all messed up, and they both take the same man, so leaving the gap inside for McCahill. Inside again, and Terry Wright to Frano Boddicker, who keeps it on his fingertips, and Mark Brooke-Cowden comes across to score a great try on this wonderful day in Whanganui.
Let's go back to the scrum, Graham. It was a clean hook. The front row stayed up. We got some magic as a result. And Brooke-Cowden finished it off. I got the impression Brooke-Cowden's had a quiet first 40 minutes. A bit outshone by Michael Jones. But when you're sitting down, as these three men are, and talking about All Black prospects afterwards, they'll remember the fact that he must have sprinted 80 metres to be with that try when it was scored. 22 points to 10. The kick missed from that try by Brooke-Cowden. And the probables, the black team, will be jolted, I'm sure, by the sheer shock of that try by the white team.
It was magic rugby. The way the ball went along the back line, skip move, Craig Green had to come in to take the centre and put Leota in the clear. But a bit of a communications problem between Gallagher and Stanley, both going into Leota. But this has got the white tails up.
Dean's on Donald there. Schuster. McMaster. Schuster again. Was he interfered with before he had the ball? And look who's on the ball down there underneath that was Mark Brooke-Cowden. The guy's coming into his own in the last few minutes. When the game opens up and he can really sprint, he's right on hand. Dean's Taylor, he kept his kick low because he's outside the 22. Now, McMaster. Okay, full marks to McMaster. You're not to take crazy risks in the trial match. He's got other things to think about, and it would be a sort of a festival frolic thing to open it up there. He just put it out, gets his team back to a set position. There's Mark Brooke-Cowden, who has come into his own in the last couple of minutes. What a glorious try that was. One of the best I've seen in years. Oh, scuffles at the back between Earl and Wetton, and a bit of a standoff there. You know, the tall blindside flanker is one of the positions that's up for grabs. Brooke-Cowden tackled that time. Now here's Shelford, caught by Donald. Black team in support here. Jones trying to stretch out. Alan Wetton, that's the goal line there. Deans, Fox, Stanley. Kerwin gets this one. Kerwin gets the try. An efficient try, well finished off by the Blackbacks and John Kerwin.
The try was made by Joe Stanley with the long pass. Watch, he came outside Fox and then missed Taylor out, missed Gallagher out, and there was John Kerwin coming over, sheer strength. You don't stop him that close to the line.
Look for the springing dive pass from Bruce Deans. There's Fox, the short pass, and here comes the loopy one over the top. It was in control. Gallagher missed right out. Kerwin hit it at speed. The defence was coming across, but Kerwin can't be stopped in that situation.
So now Grant Fox from right out on the touchline. What's the way that when he takes those 6 steps back, he goes 2 to the left, 1, 2, then he wiggles the arms, wiggles the hands, and takes the big breath.
Another successful result for Grant Fox. It's 28 points to 10.
Number 10, Grant Fox.
So there's the white forward pack who worked so hard to get that try for their backs, but there was a pretty emphatic reply by the black team. Excellent take by Pearce. Dean's narrow side Shelford. That's been a play they've used right through the game. Kerwin looking for space, swings it right across to Stanley. Gallagher up. Green took it well. Jones still going. Michael Jones. Kerwin again. Stanley. Deans. Shelford on hand. But throw back right on the goal line.
Must be white ball as well. It seems ridiculous, but in the laws of the game, whichever side is taking the play forward, when the whistle blows, gets the put in. So white get the put in, but black went down the field 60 metres.
Well, Wayne Shelford not quite in the body position to enable him to drive across. He got his hands on the ball, he held it, but he wasn't in a position to use that force that he can generate from his leg thrust to get across for the try.
But what a beautiful run of Michael Jones's, Keith. Did you see the way there? He was off balance, but he could still get through the tackles and get the ball to the support player.
The catch by Craig Green at the angle from the passer, right on halfway. There's the black team stacked up, looking at them from behind, stacked up against their goal line. There's Shelford up the back on the other side. So they pushed on over the mark before the ball was in. Referee Francis, I think, has indicated that he will penalise for all offences in the front row now. Some technical offences in there, of course, are just a free kick with the arm held up bent, and you can't kick for goal from those. But he's going to make all offences from the scrums penalisable. Gallagher caught bringing the ball forward. Bruce Dean's narrow side. Craig Green, Alan Webb. 3 defenders there. The white team are quite well organised. Well, that was a fantastic run a few minutes ago by the backs. Look at Stanley here. Gallagher, the little short pass to Green, who really went against the tide that time. Then the good run by Jones. Look at the way he went looking for space, but never forgetting his teammates. Kerwin again, Stanley, but look at the body position of Shelford. Not quite in a position to get his foot down to thrust and drive for the line. So the blacks in defence. What a good pass that was by Donald. He's cleared space right out to the left. Trying to Terry right. Oh, it's loose. McCarhill managed to save it. Excellent pass there by Andy Donald. Talk about going against the tide. The pass from Donald out into the backs enabled McCarhill, well, McCarhill had to clear, but enabled the white backs to go against the tide again. And it's chances taken well and efficiently like that can turn a game. Anderson, Deans, Fox, Taylor, Stanley, Gallagher was up again. That's Kerwin coming in like a loose forward. Shelford, they're 10 metres out. Deans, Fox, they've got to shift it along. Stanley. Gallagher couldn't quite get the pass to get in under the posts, but it's pretty dominant stuff again by the black team. And they have a penalty close to the line. They're looking at Fox.
They can't have a kick at goal. They've got to spin it, surely, Andy Donald.
Graham, we forget from time to time that this really is an All Black test match rehearsal. So I guess 28-10 up in a test match, penalty to you, you'd kick for goal, wouldn't you?
And on the other hand, we have to think about some of the players going for All Black places that must be given a chance, and perhaps then they could have had a run. I feel sorry at the moment for players like McCarhill and Schuster, Keith, who haven't really had a look in to show their wares.
Terry Wright, another one who hasn't really seen much of the ball go his way.
Yes, but he is almost an established All Black. The other two aren't. That's what I was trying to get at.
Right. So Fox, he could throw this one over from there. Fox missed the first 2, but he's landed 7 goals so far today, and it's 31 points to 10 to the probables, the black team.
As he is deadly in a range of out to about 40 metres, but then he just can't get that extra couple of metres. There's number 12, John Schuster. One does feel sorry for him because he's a very good player, but today he just has not had a chance to show his wares.
Fierce, they got to him that time. Albert Anderson, he got the shove on the ball at the same time. Look at Shelford. He can write his ticket for Eden Park in 13 days' time. Stanley, Gallagher, Green. Gallagher staying in support. Tried to hook the pass around low that time. That's Book Cowden. That's halfway. McMaster in position. He didn't find the line. McDowell across the line. Seven successful kicks today for Grant Fox. Suggests that they couldn't really leave him out, but you see, if they put Fox in the team, they might play Gallagher at fullback, because if you had Botica in there, you'd have to play Crowley, one of the efficient goal kickers. So Botica. Oh, McMaster in from fullback. Wright was hoping for a run there, but he just got ball and man at the same time. "13 minutes to go till the end of the trial. The team announced tonight just before 7 o'clock. World Cup rugby just a matter of weeks away. New Zealand against Italy at Eden Park. Live on Television 1, 3 o'clock on a Friday. Friday the 22nd of May. And an enormous amount of rugby live right through the World Cup to the final. Eden Park, 22nd of June. Same again, pressure on, that's the call from deep in the depths of those piles of brute force. Shelford, Deans, Kerwin, Shelford again. Murray Pearce, Deans, Fox, Taylor, Gallagher. Oh, that was a royal chance. The two fullbacks collide. Gallagher. Here's a chance for a breakout. Not quite efficiently passed by Terry Wright, sadly. And an injury there. We look quickly for the man who's hurt, and it's Andy McMaster, and who had a collision with his opposite number, Gallagher. But really, this was a try under the post for Gallagher, I think, Graham Thorne, if he'd held onto the ball. He comes into the back line at pace magnificently, but that time he was going just a bit too fast, I think, Keith. And there we are, the heads came together, Andrew McMaster and John Gallagher. So there's John Gallagher. He's had 4 games for the All Blacks on the Tour of France. He had 2 at fullback and 2 at centre. Now, when he played at centre, I think he hardly saw the ball, but he was pretty successful at fullback. So there they are, the big 3. Wouldn't we like to have a microphone inside that little conversation? So the big shadows coming across a glorious afternoon in Whanganui. Temperatures up about 17 or 18 degrees. Alan Wetton's got the blind side covered. Michael Jones watches the open side. Penalty to the Whites. It's going to be a little set start. McMaster to clear. Oh, Fox. Now, you can see the problem there. Look at the shadows. Now, it came off his chest, but he was looking straight into the sun. Gallagher. Jones, scooped up by Terry Wright. He's trying to get in the game, Terry Wright. They refused to pass the ball to him almost, but he's been in the play the last 3 or 4 minutes. He's gone looking for work.
Once again, the crowd thinking White should have got it, but it wasn't going forward or back there, that maul, so the team attacking gets the ball.
Number 8 for the Whites there is Andy Earl, another one from the Glenmark club in North Canterbury, where he's 3 of his brothers also in the pack. That must be a fearsome pack they've got up there, the North Canterbury champions. That's Andy Earl in the back there. The man they say never combs his hair.
That is trivia, Keith.
It's the 22-metre line there for Kerwin. Deans. Fox. Funny little kick, that one, Graham. Strange even.
I don't think John Kerwin wanted to be in the action there, because he just come in field with the last movement and he wasn't really in position, so perhaps Grant Fox had little alternative. Got him himself into all sorts of trouble.
It's still tough in those forward packs. With Anderson, number 4. Andy Earl, number 8, the 2 Cantabrians. Brent Anderson. This guy's got a habit of scoring tries. The try line just ahead. McDowell. Did he get over? He's right on the line, I think. Not there yet, says referee Bob Francis.
Going back to Albert Anderson, Keith, I think he's had more trouble than the early settlers in the lineouts, and he has seemingly been the one that's been obstructed almost out of the game in that White team. Those lineouts have been a bit of a shambles at times. I think poor old Albert has been getting the thin end of the wedge. So let's watch Wayne Shelford at the back of this scrum. There's a big blind to the right. You can see it there.
So in the shadows, down goes the front row. Shelford off. Stretched out, but it wasn't. He wasn't close enough. Who's that diving in there with it? Deans has got it now. Fox, long ball to Gallagher, and he's going to waltz in. And that caps an excellent afternoon for Wellington's John Gallagher.
That sounded like a try for the probable 15.
John Gallagher was coming in from the blind side for the scrum, but the ball didn't come down through the scrum that quickly. But this time he did get the try, and once again that ploy of throwing the ball over the top of the player. There's Fox, sees that Kerwin's coming inside, so he dips it over the top. So easy for John Gallagher.
One of the big things about Gallagher's play today has been his support play. When he's passed, he's stayed up. This time he was up and in the right place. And look at that, he's the only man in the picture as he just waltzes in. Gallagher taking the conversion attempt. But it's across the front, not a good attempt at all. It's 35 points to 10. The probables looking like an All Black 15, all right. And out now to a most convincing win. They've scored 4 tries to 1. The Whites can say, I guess, over their drinks and celebrations and commiserations tonight, that they scored the best try, the Brooke Cowden Classic. Andy Dalton. That's a beautiful ball for Deans. Up for Fox. Taylor. Kerwin is staying in close. Gallagher up from fullback. Stanley in support away to Green. Schuster lines him up. Good run. Kerwin got in the action. Green. Jones there too. Kerwin. Fox. Shelford waiting out in the middle. Gallagher up in support. He's nudged it ahead, but Alan Wetton and Terry Wright, there'd be no contest as to who'd get to that ball first. And again, good, solid teamwork, backing up passing by the black team, and we could be calling this 15 the All Black team.
Yes, they've been playing very well, although they did go off the boil in the middle of the game. What worries me, just a little niggle at the back of my mind, is that we haven't had very bad weather this year, and this is another trial that's been played on the top of the ground.
Donald, Boddicker. Well, Boddicker, he's, I guess, paying the price for being in the white jerseys today. I guess he would have relished being on the black side. The selectors pick the teams. You get in one or the other. And I guess that you'd have to say with 7 goals and playing in the winning team that Fox might be that All Black first 5/8 at Eden Park against Italy.
It all depends on who they're going to kick for goals. You said before, Keith, if they pick Kieran Crowley at fullback to take the kicks, they can put Frano Boddicker in or Grant Fox. But if they put Gallagher in, who's played so well today, they've got to go with Fox.
I think on the evidence of what we've seen today, it would be Gallagher and Fox. Both have played pretty well. Fox has done the goal kicking to his usual efficient standard. 7 times the ball has flown between the posts, and Gallagher has been up in attendance in many back plays. So, time running out. Kerwin. That's Alan Wetton. Michael Jones has gone forward.
Well, it's now only sort of 3 hours now, Keith, to when the team's announced at 7:15 in the middle of the network news. So I can't see that many surprises in the team as Boddicker kicks downfield, and a good kick from Frano Boddicker. Good kick from Frano Boddicker. But less than 5 minutes to go now, and the Blacks clearly dominant in this final trial. Andrew Dalton, who seems certain to be the captain of this first All Black World Cup side. And Albert Anderson gets one.
Now Dalton, for a 35-year-old, is doing his best work at the late part of the game, so that's a pretty good sign from him. Gallagher up again. Look at the space that Green had. Look at that communication. Good stuff. They're handling the ball beautifully in the second half, these Blackbacks. Support play has been one of the points that have been very good. Right, Fox is on his own. What's he going to do? Turning it back in close.
He had to. There were no players outside. They were all in the maul as forwards.
It's popped back on the white side. Spate. That's Brooke Cowden. That's kind of a rugby league tactic there. This is behind the goal line. And Boddicker clears. You know, some of these rugby league players, they never let the ball go near their line. They hold it. And even if they run forward and make a yard, that's worthwhile. And that would be, I guess, some of the thinking that's gone into that instinctive action by Mark Brooke Cowden.
But looking back at that last movement, the way that the Black backs managed to get the ball inside to the supports. Kerwin is amazing at this. He might be tackled, but he always manages to get the ball inside or outside.
2 minutes to go in the match. Brent Anderson, who's had a good one. So too is his lock, Murray Pearson. Here's Shelford. Another try untouched by the black team. And Wayne Shelford gets his second try. And I think I'll have to go back and have a look and see what happened there, because it seemed like the parting of the Red Sea there for Wayne Shelford. Anderson took the drive, and suddenly there was a gap ahead. The ball was loose, slipped up and picked up by Shelford, and he was in unopposed.
It seemed that the ball just popped out of that maul. Well, look at the back. Great palm from Jones there. Round on the drive came Anderson again, and there the ball just popped out, and Wayne Shelford scooped it up. All alone, on his own.
No trouble for Fox. The match is over. Fox lands his 8th goal. You can all sit down now and pick your teams, and there are going to be some favourites, like Wayne Shelford, who scored 2 tries, like Fox, who kicked 8 goals, like Kerwin, who scored a try, Gallagher, who scored a try. But of course, the most brilliant try of the match came from the losing team, Mark Brooke Cowden. The Black Probables, captained by Andy Dalton, won the match by 41 points to 10. And the overriding factor in the last moments of the game, Graham, was the positive way everything was happening. This means, I think, that the New Zealand rugby really is in pretty good heart with the World Cup just 13 days away.
It is, without doubt. The way that the support play just came together, and the black side in the last 20 minutes after they went off the boil came back with a vengeance, and those last couple of tries that they scored were first class. And 2 weeks yesterday, it'll be the first game of the World Cup, and I'm very optimistic, Keith, of New Zealand's chances.
Well, the black team scored 6 tries. The white team scored 1 by Mark Brooke-Cowden. And it's perhaps a little unfair, but we're going to play that Mark Brooke-Cowden try again because it was such a classic. Here it is again. Donald. Out on the backs to the white backs. Shifted on by Boddicker. Look how he got around behind them. Leota picked it up off his knees. He switched it to the wrong hand, but again we're carping. The man has got tremendous speed. Look for the basketball pass inside as 2 black defenders made the mistake of going for the one man. And another pass from this time from McCahill. Another loop pass, a hook pass by Wright. Tipped up by Boddicker, and Brooke-Cowden sprinted in. All Black rugby is in good heart. 41 points to 10, the black team won.
Here it is from end on with Leota. Somehow he put the ball under the wrong arm, but we're niggling perhaps. Joe Stanley made tremendous ground to get to him, but 2 black people took him out. Bernie McCahill looking good, running with the ball. Inside to Terry Wright. Frano Boddicker just puts it on a bit. Brooke-Cowden on hand to score the best try of the match. There he is, pressing it down now.
Well, the best try of the match coming from the losing side, and with me down here on the touchline watching that replay, the try is Sid Going. I guess the far north still the favourite son up here, and Sid Going made the interesting observation to me while we were watching that replay that one of the disappointing features of this match was the fact that he would like to have seen those white backs with a little more board.
Yes, I felt that they had a lot of ability to move the ball, but never really got it throughout the trial.
So I wonder if it was, in essence, in a very fair trial when so many of the shadow test side was in the probables team and many of these very good players and the possibles team which just wasn't getting any ball.
Oh, I think it was just one of those things. It was a typical trial that I think a lot of people probably expected the white team to get more line-out ball, but I suppose that was the one disappointing feature of the trial, is the line-out possession on either side was not very good.
From my own recollection, I can only recall one occasion in this entire match where I saw a clean two-handed take, and that was from I think Murray Pearce in the first half.
I think that would be correct in my estimations as well.
So if in fact you were one of the All Black selectors at the moment, you'd be rather worried about the lack of good ball takers in New Zealand rugby?
Yes, the lack of big, tall 6'7", 6'8" men. I think that would probably be a worrying feature, especially when we get up against Australia or France, where they have those sized men.
Okay, so let's have a look at two of the other contentious areas today. First of all, the 2 fullbacks. If it was between McMaster and Gallagher for the second fullback berth, who would you be giving the nod to?
I'd probably give it to Gallagher at this stage. I felt he ran well onto the ball. He had a few more opportunities, but did basically the things that were right.
Well, Sid, I'll be very interested to hear your comments on this next question. The 2 halfbacks, I guess that we had the same situation today with Deans and Donald contesting for the number 2 halfback berth. Where's your money going here?
I've liked Deans for a couple of years, and I was pleased to see him in this trial, and I think he proved that again today.
The loose forwards, who impressed you up there today?
Well, the trio on the black side were quite outstanding. They weren't very far from each other the whole game. That Jones seems to improve with every game you see him play, and Wetton and the number 8, got their share of possession as well, and they're right on the ball with them.
And finally, Sid, let's just go back to those white backs for a moment, because I know you're very impressed with John Schuster and Terry Wright and Frano Boddicker. Is there any of those backs there that you could see making the All Black side this afternoon in terms of new caps? Schuster, perhaps?
Well, I think, I'm not sure whether Wright is a new cap, but I class him as a player with plenty of class and qualities. He's got good skills. A lot of people say that he's a very slight guy, but he tackles well, and he showed that again today. He's got a ton of ability.
Well, Sid, thanks very much for talking to us. Sid, incidentally, who's just rushed back from Auckland, where he's had 4 games this week with the Golden Oldies. You may have seen the memento he was sporting on his scalp this afternoon. So there it is. That's how it finished at Okara Park at Whanganui. 50 points scored in the final All Black trial this afternoon. Well, now all the rugby is over, and it's down to those 3 wise men of New Zealand rugby, Mrs. Lahore, Hart and Wiley, who must come up with the 26 players who will represent New Zealand at the World Cup, which starts in just 13 days' time.
Brendan Telfer at Okara Park this afternoon, along with our commentators Keith Quinn and Graham Thorne. Behind me, two of the All Black selectors, Alex Wiley of Canterbury and John Hart of Auckland. They'll be meeting with the convener of selectors and the All Black coach, Brian Lahore. Their final meeting coming up now, and the All Blacks for the World Cup will be announced live from Whanganui during tonight's 6:30 Sports News. And Grant Nisbet will join me at about 5:45 tonight to discuss further from today's trial and predict who might and might not be amongst the chosen 26. Two other scores in from fixtures around the country and in fact overseas this afternoon. First of all, staying with rugby, the game for the wooden spoon in the AGC South Pacific Championship being played in Suva this afternoon between Wellington and Fiji. Nearly half an hour gone in that game in Suva and no score as yet. And a final in from an Air New Zealand National Soccer League match played in the capital this afternoon. North Shore, the league leaders, held to a 1-1 draw by Wellington United. Well, still to come on Sport on One today, netball from the Swiss-made league, a preview of next week's rally sprint, and skiing from Mount Hutt, with scoreboard to summarise the sporting day at 5:45. Stand by now, though, for Swiss-made league netball.
Built-in electronics for cordless shaving. Brawn System 1, 2, 3. Position 1, platinum-plated foil. Position 2, combination shaving. Position 3, long hair trimmer. Good morning, future. Brawn System 1, 2, 3.
My red miniskips are popping up all round New Zealand. To have your miniskip delivered just about anywhere, call me here at Miniskips HQ. One number, one call does it all, and the call's absolutely free. Outside Auckland, dial 09 first. Mobilize some miniskip support today. The call is absolutely free.
Compulsory business reading is now available twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday. National Business Review, the authority.
Here's great news for smokers. New Pearl Drop Smokers Gel Tooth Polish. It's not an ordinary toothpaste. Its dual-action cleaning and polishing system effectively removes ugly tobacco stains. And its powerful minty taste really helps freshen smokers' breath like a mouthwash. Yet it's gentle enough to use every day because it's a specially formulated gel. Use New Pearl Drop Smokers Gel Tooth Polish regularly and you'll be laughing.
A blunt knife. Ever wish there was a knife that never needed sharpening? Well, now there is. Meet the Laser, new generation kitchen knives that never need sharpening. Move out of the grindstone age. Quality English stainless steel is tough enough for really hard work, yet the Laser is precise enough for those delicate tasks. And all the while, it will never need sharpening. The incredible Laser. There's a complete range, and each knife comes with a 25-year guarantee.
The theory, perfect aerodynamics. The car, the brilliant Corona Amon. The reason, subtle wind tunnel tested modifications that ease the air gently around a beautiful new shape. Now the bumpers and underbody belong to the same sweeping design.
Every production car should be this smooth and quiet. Pity they're not.
Our land. It takes generations of effort to win a living from such a land. One organisation has stood behind the efforts of New Zealanders for nearly a century. A New Zealand organisation protecting our cities, our farms, our industries, and export fleets. Projects of national importance and personal things of importance to only you or me. And that organisation is State Insurance.
State the obvious, right across the country. There when you need us, State Insurance.
No other insurance organisation protects the homes and property of more New Zealanders than State Insurance. So when it comes to insuring your property, state the obvious.
State the obvious.